Welcome to My Naturally Sweetened Life. Let's make homemade gluten-free flour tortillas. Start by weighing the flours, including your psyllium husk. I use whole psyllium husk in my recipes. If you've never heard of psyllium husk before, it is a natural fiber that binds gluten-free dough together in place of the gluten. It gives structure, flexibility, and softness to the gluten-free breads and today for our tortillas. The last dry ingredient that we need is Himalayan pink salt. Now stir the dry ingredients together until thoroughly combined. I take the attachment off and just stir the dry ingredients. I want to make sure that everything is incorporated and nothing gets stuck at the bottom. And sometimes these KitchenAids, they will turn and turn and turn and they leave a little spot at the bottom of the bowl. So I'm just going to make sure that all the psyllium husk and all the flours are thoroughly mixed together before we start adding the wet ingredients. With the mixer set to low speed, slowly pour in the sunflower oil. The paddle attachment will slowly mix in the oil into the flour, and it will change from a soft flour to kind of like a sandy mixture, and then you'll know you can go on to the water. For the last ingredient, add 2.5 cups of warm water. I just turn the hot on at my kitchen sink and let it run until it gets the warmest it will run, and then that's the water I add into the tortillas. Start your mixer on low so it won't splash everywhere, and once this starts to thicken up a bit, you can turn up your speed and then mix this for 5 minutes. At first it's going to look really loose, but once the psyllium husk kicks in, it will look like a firm dough. This is what the dough looks like after 5 minutes of mixing. Scrape down the sides and make sure that the KitchenAid mixer did not leave anything unmixed at the bottom of the bowl. Let the dough rest for 10 minutes so that all the flours can fully hydrate. Afterward, cut the dough into 16 equal pieces. On a well-floured surface, use your rolling pin to roll out the tortilla. Take one ball of dough and roll it into a circle between your hands. Place the dough on a floured countertop and press it flat. Flour the rolling pin and make one pass across the dough. Turn the dough a quarter turn with each pass of the rolling pin. This will help keep the circle shape. Because there is buckwheat in this recipe, it tends to stick to the countertop. Make sure all of your surfaces are well floured during the rolling process. If the dough does stick to the countertop, you can gently use a bench scraper to loosen it from the countertop and use some more flour for dusting. Keep the extra dough balls in the mixing bowl with a damp towel over them so they won't dry out during this process. I like to roll the tortillas and cook them at the same time, but if you don't feel like you can keep up with that, you can always make all of the tortillas placing parchment paper in between each one and cook them all at the same time. Or you can do what I'm doing here and have one on the griddle and roll out one at the same time. I have the heat on medium high, which is number 6 for my stove, and I place down the tortilla. You wait 1 minute and you will see the little bubbles starting to pop up, and once that happens, I flip it over and cook for 30 seconds, and it will immediately start to bubble up. This is the cool part of the whole process. So 30 seconds, and then you will flip it again and cook for 30 seconds more. Store the cooked tortillas in the middle of a clean kitchen towel. This allows the tortilla to continue to cook, and it traps the steam, keeping them warm and pliable until you're ready to serve them for dinner. Continue this process until all of the tortillas are cooked. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up, and please consider subscribing to the channel. And if you would like the full printable recipe, I will leave a link in the description below to mynaturallysweetenedlife.com. I would like to also mention that these tortillas are freezer friendly. I wanted to show you that I had these in the freezer and I thawed them for a few hours on the countertop, and they poofed up just as good as when I first made them, and they are just as flexible. I hope that you will give them a try the next time that you need flour tortillas. And as always, thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you later.